Harihi, Harihi, Harihi. Shuddho buddho vimuktaha Shrutishikharagiram Mukhyatat Paryabhumi Yasmajjahatam samastam Jagadidam amrtat vyapya sarvam stito yaha Yasyam sham shavadarehi Suranaravanajairakshidam sarvametade Tam bhumanam mugundam hrigadamamalam Krishnameva prapadye Tam bhumanam mugundam hrigadamamalam Krishnameva prapadye Hari 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 Om Tat Sat. Jai Guru. Jai Guru. As usual, we shall have our 3 times recitation jointly of the auspicious monosyllable, which definitely increases the longevity and efficiency of your heart, besides enriching and empowering the inner personality of yours. Interlock your fingers and put them on your lap. Close your eyes. Sit comfortably erect. Open the mouth and heart and join me. As usual, the recitation, its vibration should pervade the whole earth and shower the benedictions on all creatures upon the earth. Harihi, Harihi. Harihi, Harihi. We shall recite the second verse sloka, Arjuna expressing his sense of absolute surrender before Krishna. Karpanya dosho bhagata svabhavaha
Karpanya dosho bhagata svabhavaha
Karpanya dosho bhagata svabhavaha
Karpanya dosho bhagata svabhavaha
Pritchami tvam dharma sammudha cetah
Pritchami tvam dharma sammudha cetah
Yachreyasya nirgunam nishchitam bruhi tanme
Yachreyasya nishchitam bruhi tanme Yachreyasya
nishchitam bruhi tanme
Nishchitam bruhi tanme
Shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam
Shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam.
There was a discussion in the ashram as to whether I should talk today or not. You know, people here who look after me, who are associated with me, They are very much concerned about the health of your Swamiji. They also know what is his nature, especially with regard to speaking and addressing the people. Today we had a little long program in the morning. Mataji Sulabhadevi's Mahasamadhi day, generally it is observed. The past 2 years it could not be because of COVID restrictions. Today in a miniature manner, the people from Trichur and our own participants and the others, all of them had come. So the program extended, maybe for 2 or 3 hours. After that, they were all concerned whether I would be able to talk now or not. They had made arrangements also for telecasting something in substitution. But I felt that as long as it is possible, let me talk, I will try. So I may talk to a lesser extent today. Let us continue the subject. This is a matter for very dedicated inner examination and pursuit. The emphasis is very clear that we are not the body, we only have a body. And the entire body and senses consist of only matter, which is I-N-E-R-T, inert. Inert. Certainly you are living. So the living individual cannot be a mass of inert body. So what is this? What is this other factor? Factor other than the body. And that is only one, that is what we call the beautiful self. So if we are the self and we are not the body, then what is it that comes in between? Arjuna's question was, as if forced by somebody or something. Why is it a man commits sin? Anything that is done harmful to others is certainly sin. Whatever you do to help others may be called virtue. But why is it that unwillingly even people are committing sin? This deals with the psychology of man. It also deals with the role of intelligence of man. So this discussion that Krishna makes is very, very important. He says, intelligence is meant to give us knowledge. And the knowledge comes when the intelligence is exercised or applied in any given matter. I always speak about Newton, who discovered the law of gravity of the earth. It all happened with Newton seeing an apple tree full of apples, and the apples were falling from different branches in different directions, all perpendicularly down. He was wondering, why are they falling on down? Can they not equally fly? But they don't. So between the tree, the apple, and the earth, the ground to which it falls, there is a relationship, he thought. And that relationship he pursued for 1 year, until at last he was able to understand that the earth constantly exercises a force of gravity, and anything within the orbit of earth is subject to this force of gravity. Do you understand? You tell me, what is the difference between Newton not having known it and the Newton who knew it? What happens to this knowledge? Is it always luminous? Or it's also getting clouded or covered? Krishna says that a man commits a sin not because he is not the self. The knowledge that I am the self is lying covered. Just like in a cinder, fire is covered by ash. So this is covered right from the beginning. Kamarupena kaunteya dushpurena analena cha. This kama is an envelopment around the self. And because of this envelopment, passion germinates. And the passion is very difficult to appease, like fire. The more and more you feed fire with combustible items, it will start blazing all the more, all the more, all the more, as if asking you to give more. So the passion that is working in a man, it cannot be easily overcome. It cannot be quelled also. What you have to do is, you have to maturate it. Maturation is done by sublimating it, primarily understanding the role and the function of karma. Where is it lying? Does it have an independent existence? What is it supposed to do? In other words, you have to go inside your personality more and more, more and more, more and more. That you are the luminous self. Just like fire is enveloped by smoke, the self also is enveloped by passion. And where is this passion seated? Krishna is explaining it. So this passion element is something that one has to tackle today or tomorrow, sooner or later. Avridam jnanamedena jnanino nityavairina kamarupena kaunteya dushpurena halalena cha. Actually, if everyone is the self, where is the question of getting bound? Can the self be bound? Certainly not. Then why is it they are bound? Who is bound? Where is this bondage? If it is not in the self, where is it? It should be in the other factors which are functional in us. What are they? The intelligence, the mind, the senses, etc. So the subject is to be exposed properly and discussed. So, what is this self and self-realization? In Yoga Vasishta Ramayana, Sri Rama is told, Baddho hi vasana baddho, mokshasyad vasana akshayah, vasanam tum parityajya, moksharthitvam avityaja. This desire is a notorious factor. Actually, we don't have to desire in this world. What about animals and birds and reptiles? Do they desire? But are they not living? So desire is no real motivation. It is only a motivation to create confusion, agony and whatnot. So he says, Baddho hi vasana baddho. Bondage is nothing other than what desires are, what they make. Mokshasyad vasana akshayah. When the desires are attenuated, automatically it results in moksha, liberation, while alive. Vasanam tum parityajya, moksharthitvam avityaja. Therefore, what do you have to do? Abandon all desires. How will you abandon the desires? Understanding that that is the ideal and goal, and when my desires become extinct, I shall become superbly bound. So foster moksharthitva, the yearning for liberation. Let that be your desire. And subject to that desire, leave all the others. When all the other desires have vanished and the yearning for liberation alone is surviving, at that point of time, wisely drop that also. Then you become liberated. So the effort for self-realization is actually an effort to attenuate your desires. The desire is always related to the body, senses, and whatever the sensory objects are around. So the desires are a result, a creation, an outcome of the body, senses. So these desires have to be dropped. When completely dropped for the sake of moksha, don't cling to the moksha desire also. Drop it. Now, can any kind of a process be helpful in cultivating this? For everything there is a procedure. Here is the procedure. Tamasir vasanah purvam tyaktva vishayavasidaha maitriadi bhavananamim grihanamala vasanam. Tamasir vasanam purvam tyaktva vishayavasidaha. The word desire is a common word. Desire can be for anything. The entire world is made up of sattva, rajas, tamo gunas and their effects. Sattva, rajas and tamas, their effects. Everything in this world, minute or magnificent, everything is subject to the three gunas. These three gunas create three divisions: tamasic, rajasic and sattvic. Tamasir vasana purvam tyaktva vishayavasidaha. So the vasana or desire, including latent tendencies, which are associated with the sensory objects, they are the tamasic tendencies, desires. Are you following me? Are you with me? All the desires which are for sensory objects, let it be anything, either in this world or in the next world. It is all an influence of tamoguna. Tyaktva vishayavasidaha. All the desires for sensory objects created by tamoguna, tyaktva, leave them. You cannot leave them. We can leave something only when we take something instead. So he says, Maitriadi bhavananamnim grihana amalavasanam. Amalavasanaha, I think it is. Maitriadi bhavananamnim. There can be several things coming under the desires. So there are some desires which are not tamasic, which can be rajasic, sattvic and even beyond. Maitriadi bhavananamnim. Develop bhavanas and vasanas like what? Maitriadi, friendship, etc. If you have good friends, you are always happy. They are the ones who will console you when you are in distress. They are those who will help you when you need help. So Maitri or friendship, it's a very beautiful bond for everyone. Maitriadi vasananamnim grihana amalavasanaha. What does it mean? We are under the influence of tamasic desire, equally rajasic desire. So there are desires which can be for good, noble and great embellishments. They are called the sattvic desire. Maitriadi vasananamnim grihana amalavasanaha. Make the vasana pure. Suppose you have a pure mind, in whatever thought is coming in the pure mind will be a pure thought, and that pure thought is what leads people, our great sages, to write books, to give lectures. We are lecturing to you. What is the motivation? You come to know of us only when we lecture. So before our the lecturer should be there. How did he become the lecturer? Where from did he derive the authority or the sanction to speak on the supreme truth? When this question is asked, what is the answer? Unless there is something good or great, how will you be able to appreciate it and worship it? So, Maitriadi vasananamnim grihana amalavasanaha. Desire, yes, you may desire, but desire what? Purity. Purity. Desire, desirelessness itself. Desire, fulfilment. Desire, knowledge. Desire, dispassion. Anything you can desire. So use sattvic things. Tamapyandah parityajya tabhirvivaharannapi andas shanda samasteho bhavachinmatra vasanaha. I am presenting all these things, but I am wondering how you receive it and make use of it. See, this is a wonderful discussion. What is that? Desire itself is condemned here. But you cannot be without desires. So he says, cultivate sattvic desires. Think always that I must be loving, amiable, friendly. I should be free from intolerance. I must be an embodiment of compassion, kindness. I must be very helpful. No selfish thoughts should arise in my mind. Every time I should become selfless, think selflessly. Let the service to others be prominent and pronounced in my mind. Thoughts of this nature are sattvic. They are also thoughts. They are also containing a note of desire. So he says, you may for an interim period think in this manner, be in the desires, and finally pick up the amala vasana, the pure. Viveka Chudamani makes it Mishra Sattva and Vishuddha Sattva. Become pure. Tam apyandah parityajya. That desire is also not to be held. Don't think it is to be held. That also has to be left. Anything which is a desire, leave it. The desire for self-realization, that also has to be left. When you leave it, you become desire-free, self-realized. Tabhir vyavaharannavi. When you are given to this kind of a desire, automatically you will feel like pursuing it. See, when we were in Delhi, generally, before cold sets in, we returned from Delhi. But this time it was not so. We went on November 4th or so, and by the time we reached there, it was 2 o'clock the next morning AM. So, we reached there on November 5th, and then another 16 or 18 days. So, the cold was sufficiently much. People were complaining about what? The wind. That time it was a cold wind. So we felt like distributing warm clothing to people. 7 days we went on the night. We would leave the ashram by about 9 or 9:30, return by 12, 12:30, 1, 1:30, 2, 2:30, 3 o'clock last day. Last night we returned. Now the feeling that we should buy clothes, get them, go to the wholesale market, even they don't have the required number that we wanted. So they said, give us 1 or 2 days time, we have to procure it from Panipat, etc. So chasing them, telling them, giving them the money, writing checks, transferring the money through bank, all these are processes everywhere. So is it not a desire if you ask? Yes, they are also a desire, but desire which is of a sattvic kind. And from the sattvic things always you will find the seeker is led to self-realization jnana. Andashanda samasteho bhavachinmatra vasanaha. There will come a time, even the so-called desire as such will not be there. You will become calm. Bhavachinmatra vasanaha. I am only interested in the self and its luminosity, effulgence, its free nature, character. See, something very important. Andashanda samasteho. All kinds of activity and other things you stop. Bhavachinmatra vasanaha. You must have only the desire for the self. Is it okay? Is that everything? No. Tamapyatha parityajya mano buddhi samanvidam sheshe sthira samadhano yena tyajasi tatyaja. See how the language is made. Expressions are formed and imaginations are conveyed. We are speaking about what is within our body. Though body we can see and feel, what is within the body we have no means of seeing or realizing. But this is the subject that we have to expose. How to do it? Tamapyatha parityajya. Even your chinmatra vasana, that I want only self-realization, 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 self-realization. Leave that also. Like all the others were left, this also should be left. When they are left, you will become alone. And that is the loneliness and nirvana that you seek. Tamapyatha parityajya mano buddhi samanvidam. All these desires are springing not from the self, but from the mind, from the intelligence, which are the expressions, functional nodes of the self. So, mano buddhi samanvidam. All desires are associated with the mind or intelligence. It is either the mind or the intelligence which always produces desires, fascinations. Shesha sthira samadhano yena tyajasi tatyaja. After leaving the last desire also, the desire for self-realization or self, leave that also. Means what? Mano buddhi samanvidam. Whatever thoughts, whatever feelings, whatever emotions, whatever sankalpas, whatever doubts, whatever you have, all these are of the mind or the intelligence. So the last realization for the self, which also springs from mind and intelligence, abandon that also, drop it. Sthira samadhano. When that is also dropped, my dear souls, what else is left to be renounced? Nothing. Yena tyajasi tam tyaja. What is the power by virtue of which you renounce this, abandon this? It is the power of discrimination and resolve. Discriminatingly you understand the desires conduce to bondage, and following that decision, following that understanding, you try to bring about influence on your senses, mind and intelligence. Sheshe sthira samadhano yena tyajasi tam tyaja. You must have used some power to leave all these things. And the power has succeeded and it is still there. It may look for what else can I leave, what else can we leave. Don't allow that. Sheshe sthira samadhano. You should be able to live with, you should be able to be stable, poised. That stability and composure. Yena tyajasi tam tyaja. What is the power by which you are dropping one thing after the other? You felt I should leave. But what is that which really helped you to leave or which left? Is it nose? Is it ears? Is it eyelids? Is it hand? Is it leg? Nothing. Sheshe sthira samadhano yena tyajasi tam tyaja. So the power by virtue of which you did in discrimination and also finally renunciation, abandonment, that power also drop. That means you should have nothing to cling to, nothing to say my own. Yena tyajasi tam tyaja. What is the power and resolve by virtue of which you are able to abandon all these? In the same manner, abandon that power also to be alone and aloof. Are you following me? What is that state where you leave everything and you remain alone? Is it a dry state? Is it a bitter state? Is it a disturbing state? Will you wait for a similar condition when you can seek again the same thing? No. Chinmayaha kalanakala prakashati miradigam vasanam vasidaram cha pranaspandana purvagam satyamulamapi samulamapi sandhyaktva vyoma saumya prashandadhi yastvam bhavasi sadbuddhe sabhavan astu sadkritaha. I don't know how to drive home these points to you. If you are given to reading Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana and you happen to come across these verses, then there is an opportunity for you to know, to reflect upon. But this is such a subtle subject that nobody will be interested in it. All that he can look for a loving teacher. If his love for the teacher is able to bring about this final stage, that fine-tuning, analysis and instruction, well and good. So, Chinmaya Kalanakala Prakashati Miradigam Vasanam Vasidaram cha Pranaspandana Purvagam Samulamapi Sandhyaktva Vyoma Saumya Prashandadhi Yastvam Bhavasi Sadbuddhe Sabhavan Astu Satkritaha. What shall I do to make you understand and absorb this last part of the message to Sri Rama by Vasishtha Deva? You are Chinmaya. Chinmaya means what? Your nature is not matter, material or energial. You are different from these. That is why you are called Chit, the consciousness, the Chetana, the Prajna. You are actually that. You are not like water, like solid earth, gaseous air. You are not like fire, Akasha even. Something quite different. Chinmaya kalanakara prakashati miradigam vasanam vasidaram cha pranaspandana purvagam. Even the activity produced by prana, everything. I am not willfully doing anything. Everything is being done, God done. In that God done factor, my body is included, mind is included, intelligence and ego are included. And whatever I possess, that also is included. Pranaspandana purvagam samulamapi sandhyaktva. Along with the roots, no residual material should be there. Everything should be left. Vyoma saumya prashandadhi. Vyoma saumya prashandadhi. See, what kind of a phraseology is this? To describe your own inner mental, spiritual dimension. See how the author, how the thinker brings out words and phrases. Vasanam vasidaram cha pranaspandana purvagam samulamapi sandhyaktva vyoma saumya prashandadhi. Together with roots, all the desires you simply leave, abandon forcefully. How? Vyoma saumya prashandadhi. I would like you to recite this word hundreds of times. Vyoma, say.
Vyoma.
Saumya.
Saumya.
Prashanta.
Prashanta.
Dhihi.
Dhihi.
Dhihi means your intelligence. Intelligence is one functional note of consciousness itself. Intelligence is consciousness. But it is that aspect by virtue of which the consciousness constantly looks for knowledge, spiritual knowledge. Samoolam api santyaktva. Leaving, along with the root, everything, pranaspandana, everything. Let your attention be away from all of them. Vyoma saumya prasandati. You should be one whose intelligence is very clear about what? Vyoma saumya prasandata of yours. Vyoma means akasha. Saumya means gentleness, amiability. Prashanta means extremely quiet. Dhihi means intelligence. So what does the description mean? Vyoma saumya prashanta dhihi. With an intelligence which is extremely quiescent and which resembles the gentleness and stillness of the sky. Yes, our mind can be made so. Your mind is desultory because you have wanted it to be desultory. Right from the time you begin to know your mind. You wanted it to be so. That is why it is remaining. Make a counter effort. In the same way, as it is very vehement and desultory now, involved in sensory objects and a number of desires, the same mind will start dwindling all these tendencies, and finally it will become quiet, beautiful, quiescent and poised. Vyoma saumya prasandadhihi yastvam bhavasi sadbuddhe sa bhavanastu satkritaha. My dear Rama, at that time, what will your inner presence be? What will be your mind like, intelligence like, ego like? And what will be the source of all these like? Only with the mind, with the intelligence, you can reflect upon this. There is no other way. We have only senses as the first vehicle for knowledge, door for knowledge. Can any one of them help in identifying these internal things? Certainly not. So the only faculty we have is the intelligence. That intelligence should be applied, and the introspection should start becoming more and more refined, more and more attuned, more and more luminous, more and more effulgent. This is called sadhana. Sadhana is the time you are spending involving the mind and the intelligence to make them purer, sublimer, more quiescent, stable, poised, very peaceful. Yastvam bhavasi sadbuddhe, O noble intellected Rama, yastvam bhavasi sa bhavanastu satkritaha. First of all, imagine what is this state, and that is what you already are understanding. The fallacy of desire, every one of you should understand. To live in this world, desire is not necessary. Suppose there is a qualified man, he goes on desiring, I must have a good employment. Will he get it? Another man does not desire, he tries to look into advertisements, etc., employing agencies, ensures that he has the necessary skill and it is announced properly, automatically somebody will call for you. You must have the skill, you must have the readiness to use them and serve the needs of others. So the desire is absolutely unnecessary. When I say this, Desire is not necessary. Are you trying to think about it earnestly? If you cannot and you will not, at least why not accept what the Swamiji says? He is speaking for our good, our glory, our fulfillment. He will not speak lies. He will not speak impractical things. He is speaking on the ground of his own experience and the experience of so many, the entire hierarchies of saints and sannyasins in this country. So it must be true. Why don't you take one of the two positions? Either you understand clearly the fallacious nature, fruitless nature of desire. A fool alone will desire. An intelligent man will never desire. Desire is not necessary. We are working on our need. If there is a need, we will try to fulfill it. If there is no need, no effort at all to fulfill anything. So, you are sabhavanastu. When all the desires are dropped, even the desire for moksha is also dropped. And the power by virtue of which you are dropping, that also is surrendered. You become liberated. The stumbling block for self-realization and liberation is what? Desire, the karma. It is there enveloping the soul. Jnate vastunyabhibalavati vasananadiresha karta bhokta pyahamiti dridha yasya samsara hetuhu pratyak drishtyaatmani nivasata sapaneya prayatnad muktim prahuhu tadiha munayo vasanatanavam yad. Spiritual people speak so much about jnana, 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 atmajnana, atmajnana. I don't have, I must have self-realization. Swamiji, I have heard this, I have understood this, I understand it clearly, but I have no experience. What is that experience that you are looking for? Where is the trouble? As long as you have intelligence, you can read a subject and understand it. But when the subject becomes your own self and its realization, matter is different. So what is the factor that is troubling us in between? It is nothing but desire. In Viveka Chudamani, Shankara explains it. Jnate vastunyabhibalavati vasana anadiresha. Jnate vastuni. Even when you know the supreme truth that I am the self, unconditioned, ever free, ever brilliant, sovereign, singular, blissful. Even if you have known it well, abhibalavati vasana nadiresha, even then you should understand this realization maybe you have with your intelligence. But mind is there, senses are there, body is there. They have their influence. How are you going to tackle it? So even when the supreme truth is known, vasana anadiresha, there is a latent tendency in you which is beginningless. You have inherited from your parents. They have inherited it from their parents. They have inherited from theirs. They have inherited from theirs. So up to what level will you go? So it is called anadi, beginningless. That beginningless desire and its impact is very strong in your mind and the senses and the body. What is the way it makes you think? Karta bhokta pyahamiti dridha yasya samsara hetuhu. Karta bhokta. Say that.
Karta bhokta.
karta bhokta
Karta Bhokta
apyahamiti
Apyahamiti
karta bhokta apyahamiti
Karta Bhokta Apyahamiti
dridha
Dridha
yasya
Yasya
samsara hetuhu.
Samsara Hetuhu.
For this continuous worldliness which you are surrounded by and you feel suffering from, the sole cause of it is that vasana, anadiresha, beginningless vasana. That vasana makes you think karta bhokta apyahamidi. Yes, I was born. Who was born? The body was born. Did the I in the body, which animates the body, was it ever born? No? Then why do you say I was born? Because you don't think. Even if you think and understand it, the mind will not allow you to think and be satisfied. It will always prick you, pain you, hinder you, obstruct you by raising the feeling karta bhokta. Karta means doer, performer. Bhokta means enjoyer or sufferer. Karta bhokta apyahamiti dridha yasya samsara hetuhu. For the prevalence of this samsara worldliness and also its continuous, the factors responsible are I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I am the sufferer. Pratyak drishtya atmani nivasata sapaneya prayatnad. Pratyak drishtya atmani nivasata. Shall I try to explain this? Will you listen to me? I will make you listen to me. But after listening, will you reflect upon it? That reflection is the sadhana that you have to do. How can I do it for you? I can persuade you to do the sadhana, exhort you to do the sadhana, but I cannot force you. So what should you do? Pratyak drishtya atmani nivasata sapaneya prayatnad. Pratyak drishti means what? We have bodily vision, bodily perception, bodily points of view. In the same manner, you must also have soul perception, soul point of view. What is the pratyak drishti? I am not the body. The I in me is different from the body. Because it is different from the body, when the body was born, if at all, about which I don't know, the I was not born. If the I was not with the body, when the body lives and acts in so many different ways, do you think the body different I will have a place and purpose in it? No. It will not have, it cannot have, it does not have, it will not have, cannot have, does not have. Reflect upon in this manner. How many hours? No limit. Any number of hours you reflect upon it. If I is different from the body, all the actions that the I, mind or other things do, how can the body different I be responsible for it? Everybody will agree, no, it is not responsible. Then why are you suffering from? Because you are not allowing this knowledge to become an operative part in your thought process, feeling process. So what do you have to do? Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Body is mine. Mind is mine. Intelligence is mine. I am different from all these. I am different from all these. Based upon the body, whatever is done, how can I be involved in it? So I am not involved even in my birth. Even in my existence, lungs are breathing, heart is beating. Alimentary canal digests the food given to it. Where is it that I do something? I don't. Pratyak drishtya, abide more and more in this super consciousness. I am the witness. I am not involved in any actions. Therefore, there is no question of causality given to me. Causality given to me. I am not the enjoyer. I am not the sufferer. I don't need enjoyment and I am not afraid of suffering. Because my nature is the self, body different self, which is untouched by everything, the Panchabhutas. Muktim prahustadiha munayo vasanatanavam yad. Muktim prahustadiha munayo vasanatanavam yad. By repeatedly, fondly, consistently dwelling upon the I factor, different from the body, mind, intelligence, ego and the world. Oh, this I is different. What does it mean? Question, enquire. Pratyak drishtya-atmani nivasata. How much time you are able to abide in your own self? Close your eyes, sit. Be contented. Be affluent. This is the truth. Muktim prahustadiha munayo vasanatanavam yad. The attenuation of desires is what is called liberation by the great knowers of truth. I think all of you should learn this verse and make it a point to understand it, repeat it and preserve it in your memory. Jnate vastunyapi balavati vasananadiresha karta bhokta pyahamiti dridha yasya samsara hetu pratyak drishtya-atmani nivasata sapaneya prayatnad muktim prahustadiha munayo vasanatanavam yad. See, I am stopping now. Still I will tell you some things which come to my mind. Today is the 17th of December. Tomorrow is 18th. Our Srimad Bhagavata Tattva Samiksha Satram, the 21st, 20 years we have been continuously conducting it without break. This is the 21st year. As some announcements have already exposed you to, we have made a Sabhanigedan, a Sabhagriha, a reasonably large hall with no pillar at all. It was a challenge for the architects as well as the structural engineers to design such a hall. 3,000 people can sit, 20,000 square feet. Without any pillar, 20 feet high. It was very difficult to design it. But all of them succeeded in doing whatever they attempted, and that Sabhaniketan has been built. The COVID interfered in between, and we could not get workers also. They were also not free to assemble. With all that, the hall has been built. We have got comfort stations, altogether about 65 or so. It is in 2 floors. That is very close to it, maybe 5 yards or so. So all of it has been made with a ramp from the road to approach the hall. The hall is in the first floor. Ground floor, all dining arrangements and other things. So it is in 2 floors. To complete it was also a challenge. Ultimately it has been done. But what comes to my mind is how this has come up. For what reason? We thought of exposing Srimad Bhagavatam. Particularly, I use 3 words. Tattva, Mulya, Siddhanta. Tattva means different kinds of principles. The principles about life, human personality. The principles about creation, Panchabhutas. The principles about the creator, the source, the terminus, the preservational force. All these are only to be discussed and understood by the mind and the intelligence. The people of Parlikad village, after hearing a saptaham, which was arranged by the local people to commemorate Swami Purushottama Tirtha ji's Shatabhisheka, when they came to me and said, we want to do something, I said, we sannyasins do not have any Shatabhisheka, but our life is given to dissemination. Associated with that, something if you feel like doing, you may do. So they thought of conducting a saptaha on Srimad Bhagavatam in the Annakshetra of Tachanathkav, Parlikad. I think it was in 2000 or 2001. Nobody in that village or near about ever knew of a saptaham ever held in Parlikad. So it was a great panacea for them. So many people assembled. Professor Vaidyalinga Sarma was the one who conducted it. As the days progressed, the interest and involvement of the listeners also went on increasing. And it ended in a very, very delightful note, ecstatic note, subject to one consideration. Many of the earnest listeners in Parlikad and nearabouts, they said, Swamiji, to Purushottama Swamiji, we have been exposed to Srimad Bhagavatam. We understand that it is a profound and holy text, and a text written by Vyasadeva after he penned Mahabharata. Vyasadeva's mind was not peaceful and fulfilled. He was wondering why it was so. Narada came and said, you have written the history of men, but you have not described the nature, characteristics, elegance, magnificence, glory, grandness, and the like of the Supreme Source. All the 4 elements are surrounded by the sky, Akasha. Akasha is odorless, colorless. Nothing you can say about the Akasha. It is neither matter nor energy. All the others are matter and energy. How is it that everything is within the sky? And what is the source and support for the sky? Source and support for the sky, space? Yes. That is the supreme truth. That is what people call God. Because it is greater than anything, bigger than anything, minuter than anything. No words can describe that supreme source. You have not spoken about it. Unless you start writing and speaking about that wonderful source, your mind is never going to be peaceful. So he started thinking and writing. The first verse of Srimad Bhagavata itself says, what? Janmadyasya yatonvayaditaratah You want to say? Okay. Janmadyasya
Janmadyasya
yatonvayaditaratah
Yatonvayaditaratah
Janma adi asya.
Janma adi asya.
Asya means of this universe. Janma adi means birth, etc. Birth, prevalence, and then dissolution. These are the first words of Srimad Bhagavatam. And that is what we call God. So God is not a religious concept. It is a name given by the religious or philosophical or spiritual thinkers to what they found as the supreme source of everything. It does not have legs and feet. It does not have a body. It does not have senses. It is a supreme presence. In this Srimad Bhagavatam you will find 80% is Vedanta. But everybody knows it as a bhakti devotional grantha. Srimad Bhagavata analyzes devotion in very many ways. Analyzes equally the devotee. With similar precision analyzes God as a concept. Everything is done well there. So you will find the whole text deals with the intricacies of human life, the complexity of religious ideas, and the subtle nature of the philosophical and supreme reality. It also discloses the I, the inmost presence within the body. All these are presented in the form of discussions, debates, presentations, dialogues, discussions, very good analysis, everything presented there. So, our Parlika devotees who listened to the Srimad Bhagavatam said, we want to know more and more about, further and further about the Tattva, Mulya and Siddhanta exposed by Vyasadeva in Srimad Bhagavatam. Swamiji rang me up. The people are asking like this, what can be done? Can we conduct anything in the way of a collective endeavor? I said yes, something like satram can be done, but it should not be a satram to expose Srimad Bhagavatam as Saptaha expositions are. So we should clearly make it a point that the Tattva Samikshanam is done in the exposition. All the speakers should emphasize what are the principles discussed. Principles, values, goals, restraints, disciplines, enrichments, embellishments, all these should be there. Everything is about life and world, nothing else. Only when we are living, the question of world arises. So it's a discussion of life. That is why we hit upon this. Then we started conducting it. To conduct it in a village is not easy at all. In a village, where are the resources coming from? And we wanted to conduct it with Annadana. 4 or 5 times, whoever are there, all of them were given food. Breakfast in the morning, food, midday, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner, everything was to be given. That was our mind. We are sannyasins and we give everything free. So, it was not of a simple dimension. And in a village, resourceful people will not be there. Where from will the resources come? In spite of it, we dared it. When the people asked us whether something can be done, automatically our heart responded. And that is how the humble beginning in Srimad Bhagavata, in Paralikad village, to conduct the first Srimad Bhagavata Tattva Samiksha Satram. A very beautiful pandal was made. Very beautiful. People who came there, they automatically felt a sense of divinity and celestial feeling. And people started coming. They sat, everyone sat on a chair. When they went to answering the calls of nature, they came back and sat on the same chair. I was insistent that the hall should be very disciplined. That also was there. Somehow, Purushottam Swamiji himself had told me right in the beginning, it should become an yearly event, not a one-year event. In the third year I said, now we can say it is going to be an yearly event. But we had a problem. It was on an open ground. The December month is full of strong wind, northeastern wind. We have it particularly in that region, open ground. So it was all dusty for people to have their food 3-4 times a day, everything sitting in. So we felt after a few years something should be done for them to sit. If this is going to be a program every year and people have sat. Newspapers supported the whole movement, reported very well. And some time back when they came to me, Swamiji, the satram has become a part and parcel of the residents in this area. They cannot think of life and think of the year without this major event of the year. Do you think so? I asked. Okay, very good. Then he was interviewing me, asking questions, etc. So we decided and we started the program. It was not an easy job. Where from to have crores of rupees? Can sannyasins do anything in the matter? We are not given to collecting money and all that. But somehow it has been done. 40,000 square feet in 2 floors and sufficient urinal arrangements for fire brigade if necessary to come and circle around. All the engineering specifications stipulated by the different departments of the government. And to have the necessary land converted for the purpose, the Vadakanjeri municipality on the one hand, Kerala government on the other, and the Kerala High Court also, all of them were helpful in getting hold of the land and in going ahead with the construction. Everybody was helping. This is something very interesting. And our government, all of you know, it's a leftist government. They were not leftists before us and we were not leftists to them also. It's all very interesting. We are going to have an inauguration this year and you will find ministers will be there, municipality representatives will be there, political people also will be there. They all want to come and be present on the occasion. So I would like you to understand how from a humble beginning some great things can take place. Right from the beginning I had told people, in order to conduct this program and to make it sufficiently popular so that people will come, never think of calling any political or other representatives for the purpose. Understand that generally this is done by householder community, but here you are asking us to conduct it. So we will be with you in front, at back, in the center, etc. But we will not be available, we will be just behind, somewhere behind near about the Satrashala. Those people who want to see us, you may bring us and we shall talk to them. Otherwise you have to conduct it yourself. We shall give you necessary directions and resources. I made it a point. If this satram is going to be held successfully and it is going to be an yearly event, understand that there are 2 factors. A combination of these 2 alone will be at the back and front of it. One is, my words were, Parama Kalyana Nidhi Sri Hari. Lord Hari, who is a Parama Kalyana Nidhi, he is a treasure of supreme felicity. He is there, no doubt. Then you are there. Now what you want to have is supreme devotion and devotional allegiance and resignation to him. If you lack in this, the satram will not be conducted at all. Don't tell me anything else. This is the only way. And to conduct it is your responsibility. We will help you to organize it. We will be behind it. But every one of you should become a pravakta and carry the message to the people all around. Each person starts informing 40 or 50 people and see what happens. After I talked to them and all of them heard, there was a substantial difference. Now all those 2 years we had to conduct it online, that also took the news and even to distant places. Now we are going to have it. For inauguration, Swami Tattvamayanandaji, he is not very old, he is quite an youngster. He is the minister in charge of Vedanta Society in California, Northern California. We know him, we had called him for inaugurating insight of Bhagavad Gita in America 2 years back. So he agreed to come, he will be coming and he will inaugurate it. The lectures will be primarily in Malayalam, but we have also decided to give some 2, 3 or 4 English lectures. We can give lectures at any time, but it is meant to be for the local people. But when we speak in English, the audience is not much reduced. Most of them come. I would like you to understand the whole genesis as well as the growth up to this extent of this. Somebody made a remark, this huge arrangement here, maybe it is going to be the source of a worldwide dissemination of Srimad Bhagavatam. I don't know. Somebody made such a remark. May it be true or not. But I thought of sharing this news to all of you. The other day I think I spoke to you about how we started distributing woolen dress to the people who are having nothing to cover in the way of woolen dress. How we went about every day between 9, started from 9 o'clock and returned at 12, 2, 2:30. The last day we returned by 3 o'clock after having gone at 10:30, at 10 a.m. 10 p.m. at night. Now, this will be the last talk before the satram. Till the satram is over, I hope my health will be all right. About my going and giving everyday talk in the satram, still people are very anxious. My right leg is wrapped up very big. I have difficulty. And cause of pain I am not able to remember at all. X-ray, it was not revealed in the X-ray. Then they had to do an MRI and they say, maybe stress fracture. That is the finding. However, it has to be attended to, it is being attended to, and let us see. If God's wish is there, will is there, I would be available. We are still making efforts, everything is going on. Now let me stop. Tomorrow I shall be going to Naimisharanyam to see things, but more important is the flagstaff is being erected tomorrow, will be erected at an auspicious time. They have also arranged for a press conference after that. I shall of course be talking to the people who are assembled on the occasion. Now this marks the beginning of the arrangements for conducting this year's Srimad Bhagavata Tattva Samiksha Satram. I shall conclude now. Shandasvabhavamajaratmagameka satyam samvidpadam nirupamam kalana vihinam andarbhischa bahudha vyavaharyamanam taddhaivameva mama sarvamaham tadeva taddhaivameva mama sarvamaham tadeva. Harihi, Harihi, Harihi. We shall have the conclusional Omkara. Take your pose for it. Oh. Harihi Om Tassat. Jai Guru. Jai Guru.